nothing else for case. BZA 0-21-25, Rachel Hoagland petitioner. Requested land use variance at 2571 North State Road 11. She wants to update and expand the business that she runs there and add a 40 by 60 building for the business at that same location. If you could, Steve, please step forward, Ms. Hoagland, and state your name and such, and give us your plans.
Hi, my name is Rachel Hoagland, the owner of Susie's Hall of Pet Care. My mother, Susie Meyer, started this dog grooming and boarding business 48 and a half years ago. 8 and a half of those years, which I've owned when I purchased the land and business back in 2017. The business is always set on this piece of land where it is currently. I am wanting to update and expand my business by adding a 40 by 60 pole barn at the front of my property, which is currently not used for anything. In this pole barn, I'd like to add to my grooming an indoor dog park and a 24/7 self-serve dog wash. I have been working on this for the last 2 years with funding and now zoning only to find my property is zoned residential single family. With the current zoning, I am not able to utilize the land I own since there is no house on this land, just a business. So I am asking to vary from its current zoning of residential to commercial so that I can utilize the land I own to further my business, of which has been in the community for the last 48 and a half years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hoagland. We appreciate that. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of Ms. Hoagland's petition? If not, anyone here to speak against that petition? Discussion from the board. Anything?
I have this. Would that need to be a commercial permit to get that? So that has to be designed by an architect or engineer?
I don't think so, no.
So I would think
It's just a
technically.
land use. That's why she's not rezoning it. So it's a
But if
land
you
use.
build a commercial building, you would have to have parking.
Is it gonna be, are you going to have,
I should have enough room for parking.
like, do they just drop off? Or are they, like,
For the grooming, yes. They would stay with their dogs if they did the dog wash or the indoor dog park.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware that there's quite a few hoops they have to go through with a commercial building. That's all.
Yeah, that makes it a little more difficult when you're trying to change from a R1 residential and move it all the way over to commercial status. Is the requirements required to meet that commercial status is actually what takes it, what a lot of times is required under that zoning change versus a residential R1, because there are, you know, like Bernie said, there's parking requirements and signage requirements and all kinds of requirements to go that. So
I just can't do anything with what I have because the property line,
sure.
water and sewer lines,
Right.
and then I have that empty space up front.
Well, when you keep saying up front, your building can't be farther than the house.
Right, yeah, I don't have a house.
Okay.
There's enough room between the power lines and then the easement for the road, from the road.
Well, the setback requirement, since that's an arterial too, that takes, that's a higher setback than normal residential setback. So there might be some difficulties there too that might push you further back on your property. You've got a large property, so it should be an issue.
I mean, I'm just going, sorry. How do you find out those requirements?
They're in the ordinance manual, I believe, and if they're not, some of them are in the the thoroughfare plan that is online too, I believe, but they might be harder to find. And if you need that information, just call us up, call Patty's office up, and we'll research it if that's needed.
And were you gonna board dogs there too? No boarding?
No, I already have it on what I have right now.
Okay. And explain the dog park to me.
It's just a place like for kids when it's raining or freezing cold or muddy outside. People don't want to put their dogs outside, they get messy. So it's just a place for them to run off energy.
Okay. So.
Just a big open area for them to run, play ball, frisbee, whatever. Inside, yes, inside.
Do you anticipate a lot of people showing up to utilize that? Because that's the concern about the parking, since you're right on a state road.
And that's another thing. I'm guessing you're gonna need a state highway permit with this change. Even though you've already got a driveway, if you call it commercial, they'll have to be notified and, it's just a process. That's not something we can do. That goes through the state highway.
Any other comments from the board?
So I'm confused. So you guys are talking as if it's a change in commercial, but this says it's just a land use variance.
Well, I think what she's done is she's opted to apply for a land use variance and keep her zoning as R1 versus changing her zoning from R1 to commercial, which really should be the case.
Okay, and that's what I thought that the paper was saying, but it just sounded like the conversation was
It
geared
was.
towards she was
I
trying
think,
to
yeah,
change it.
You're right, Kendra, but I think what Bernie was trying to explain to her is being on a state highway, there is a new set of rules for that.
So if she would want to change it to commercial, then all of those steps she would have to go through.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, yes. Mike, Bernie, were you correct in that?
Okay, I don't follow. So a land use variance doesn't mean it's commercial?
So no, it would still be zoned in R1, but they would be getting a land use variance to operate a commercial property out of that, which I think that's a little too convoluted, but that's just my opinion. I think it should be, if we're gonna run a commercial business, especially located where it is on a thoroughfare that it is, that should be put in front of the council for a zoning change into a commercial C1 or something that they could operate that out of, would be my thoughts to that.
I'm just saying, for what we're doing right here, it's just a land use variance.
We're voting on a
To run
land
it.
use variance to
But
run a commercial.
does that throw her into the commercial portion of our manual, is the question.
I think her first initial is, the reason for the land use is so she can run a business on a residential property. That's her goal.
Are we
And that's what Jeremy told
interpreting
her.
this correctly? I just want to make sure. Okay, all right. Any further questions from the board? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I think we just vote.
Oh, yeah, I guess we do now that we
That's
just
what we've
voted. I
done.
forgot. I can always forget that. All right, let's vote.
I don't know what you want.
Yeah, I know. I'm too many boards, too many things.
I question that board underneath his
Thank you.
And you are approved for your variance by 7-2. So this will be forwarded on to the BZA, which will be, we'll make the agenda in 2 weeks. And we'll vote on it then. Okay? All right, thank you.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Certainly.
To be approved, is it 6 votes, or is it just the majority?
Well, it would technically be 6 votes,
Okay.
right? Because we're missing 2 of us, right?
I'm just double checking.
Yep. Okay, next case up, PCM 7-25, Cornwell Construction petitioner. They're requesting to rezone a property at 333 South Park Street from R1 to R3. They're wanting to tear down an existing structure and rebuild a duplex on the property. Mr. Cornwell?
We've been before the board before and done this exact thing multiple times. If the board has looked at the properties we buy blighted properties, properties that need to go bye-bye. And we buy them and we improve the neighborhood. So we're doing exactly what we've done in the past, same style of building, exact same. So I just need it to go from what it is now to an R3 to allow me to build the duplex.
Okay, Mr. Cornwell, thank you. Yes, we are aware of your accomplishments in the past. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone here to speak in favor of the proposed project? Anyone here to speak opposing the project?
Just have a question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Beatty.
Yeah, come
Please
on.
step to the podium and state your name for the record, please.
Bob Beatty, my question is more to you guys is, how does that affect the zoning in that entire neighborhood though, if you put an R3 right in the middle of an R1? If you look at the overlay, there's only two close by, and that's Anchor House and Lincoln School. They're now R3. So if you're gonna maintain the integrity of the neighborhood, so to speak, and there's still some pretty good houses down there. As far as the project, I think it's needs to be done. I've driven by there twice today. Certainly. And it definitely needs to be done, but I'm just concerned going ahead with a spot zoning thing and what the implications are going ahead for that neighborhood. Does that mean that if other houses come available down there, 2 or 3 at a time next together, are we gonna have another complex like we got right there at O'Brien and Brown Street?
Right.
So, and what does that do to the integrity of the neighborhood?
So,
That's the only
I
question
guess,
I have.
in the large scheme of things, what that would reflect in the integrity of that neighborhood would be, just my opinion, but cleaning up a bad area. But I understand, I'm not, my feelings on spot zoning, but.
I just looked at the overlay and.
Sure.
I mean, it's
Right.
gonna be out in
Yep.
there all by itself.
Yeah, we, right now, to be honest with you, a lot of these less than desirable properties, no one's stepping up to make any kind of change. And this would
Gotcha.
still have to go in front of the council anyway for a rezone,
Right.
so, we'll just see what, that
Yeah,
recommends.
I applaud what you're doing there because that property definitely needs to be.
Dave, can I ask a question?
Certainly.
In an R3 zoning,
Mhm.
multifamily, you can do on an R3 is either single-family home or it is duplex. Am I correct, Patty?
So you would be, as your variance on the outside, you are capable to do that, but anything below that, so if you chose to build a single-family dwelling on that, even though it ends up becoming an R3, there's nothing in the books that says you cannot do that.
Right. The only thing I can't do is what they call an R2, which is more than a duplex, correct?
Apartments.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And your question, what you
Okay,
said,
that
is,
answers my
is more
question.
than one lot come available, can somebody grab that, combine 2 lots and build a multiplex? I think that's where the city needs to come into play and say, hey, wait a minute, that multiplex doesn't belong in that neighborhood.
That's my concern. That's
Right,
my
yeah.
concern.
We have that on Bush Street, we see that in different places, which makes everything really congested.
Right.
I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, right, then density, you have that population density that increases, and kind of messes things up. Do you plan access to O'Brien?
No, my access will be to,
Park Street.
to Park.
Okay.
Yeah, O'Brien doesn't need any more access.
Yeah.
We don't need more traffic.
You good? You get your questions answered?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Any
Is-
questions from the board?
Is there another duplex north on Park Street?
I think you're referring to Vine, and there's several there.
There's one up there
There's one on
one of the
O'Brien.
modular houses is turned the wrong way, but I was thinking there was,
Right across from Anchor House.
And that's across from Anchor House.
okay.
Yeah, there's.
I wandered around down there for a while and
Yeah,
I was
there's
confused.
4 or 5 right in there.
Which kind of stuck out to me too.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show on the overlay like that.
Right.
Any other questions or comments from the board? If not, I'll entertain a vote. like this all night, aren't you?
It started.
While he's counting, can we get like a 7/12 pitch on that? Just like the existing one?
I believe all the rest of them I have, I've been putting 8/12 on, but I guess if you want me to drop it down, I can.
Drop it down, okay, no, I want you to put the 8/12 on, that's good.
Bernie, time for comments up.
Exactly.
Don't.
Get that in right before the vote's called, okay?
Motion is carried 9-0. So this will be forwarded on and be put on the city council document for the next, maybe not the next meeting?
I can get it on
Okay.
September 22nd in this room at 7 p.m. Council hearing.
September 22nd,
Okay.
7 p.m. in this room.
And
Okay.
Mrs. Hoagland knows that also, right? That-
Well, she won't need to, hers was a
Hers
variance.
was a variance, we granted variance, so there won't be any council for. Okay?
You say 22nd or 7th?
22nd. Yes, sir.
Okay, moving forward. Next case, PCM 8-25. Monica Cooper is a petitioner. She is requesting to rezone the property at 505 South Poplar Street from R1 to C1. The property had a land use variance in 2006 to run a doctor's office, and she wants to sell and feels her best option would be to rezone the property to commercial. Ms. Cooper, are you in the building? Can you step forward, please, and state your name?
Hi, my name is Monica Krupa.
Very nice. Tell us what you're
Well,
planning.
my husband used it for, his office. And, I can't think of anything else, and the kids, we can't think of anything else to do with it. So we decided to go ahead and, sell it. And because, it's, becoming more commercial there, we thought it would be a good idea. Check with a realtor, who we did, Mr. Stith, Dave Stith, and he prompted me, he said it would be better for me to go ahead and sell it as commercial. And we had like that variance, like I think what you were talking about before, like a temporary use thing. And we put parking in and paved the alley entrance to there. And so yeah, that was what was recommended to me.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this? Anyone here to speak opposed to the petition? Discussion from the board.
I have one issue. I don't understand why, the way Poplar Street has grown already, it probably would make sense for Poplar Street to, keep expanding and have the biggest, they probably already have the largest bar in Seymour. I just don't think that's what I would like to see for a commercial. Is there any way we could vote to not have that as, to be incorporated into another extra part of the bar? Does that make any sense?
I don't understand.
Want to know that the bar's wanting to purchase the property. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying that if it might become if it becomes commercial, then the Poplar Street could purchase it and make it a bigger facility for them. And I just feel like that's as big as you need a bar to be.
Oh,
So
right.
I don't mind it being commercial as long as it stays as a single parcel. To combine that parcel with Poplar Street, is that something that is available after it becomes commercial?
Well, Bernie, I would think,
I would think it would be
I would-
available.
yeah, I mean, I
it
wouldn't-
would be
I
up
mean-
for public sale, it's gonna be for sale.
yeah.
If Poplar Street was interested in it or anybody else, I don't know that we have any jurisdiction as far as who can purchase it.
I guess I had no problem with it being commercial. I just would rather it not be combined to make a bigger
Larger facility.
bar.
Boy, Bernie, I tell you, I don't know that we have jurisdiction to really entertain that. I don't really know. I mean, obviously Yeah, I get what you mean, I do, and then you kind of create something, but I don't know that we have those, I think we are limited by that.
I don't think we have the jurisdiction
No.
for that at all.
No, not at all, so. Yeah. Anything else from the board? Okay, I will entertain a vote.
Thanks, sir.
It is approved, 8-1, and will go forward to the city council to entertain your rezone.
Is that 9:22?
That would
Yes,
be
ma'am.
9/22 as well, yes, ma'am. Right here in this room at 7 PM on the 22nd of September.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next case, PCM 9-25, Parkland Incorporated is the petitioner. They're requesting to vacate the alley, a road between a portion of Cherry Street and Ash Street. It is no longer needed for public use and has not been used or kept up by the city for many years, it states here. Is the petitioner here? Oh, there you are. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please state your name for the records.
Kevin Coons from Kroger, Gardis, and Regis, law firm representing Parkland, Inc. It was stated in our petition, this is a platted area. It was platted like in the 1950s, I want to say. The very southern end of the plat was purchased by Parkland in the 60s or 70s?
In the 70s.
70s. So they purchased the very bottom row of lots that you see there. And there were several north-south streets that broke up that row of lots. There was never a street developed there, never a street constructed. Parkland put a mobile home on the Cherry Street portion back in the 70s, and it's been that way ever since. So we're just asking that that street be vacated formally, trying to clean up title issues. So that's our request.
I think at this time, I'm going to make a motion that we table this for the next meeting due to some ongoing litigation and discussions between the city and the Parkland people. So I would ask for a vote at this time that we table this until the next meeting.
I'm not sure what the ongoing litigation is because my understanding it's been settled.
The sewer dispute has been settled. The eminent domain issue is still active.
Okay, so that's being held over our head in this.
No, the city's legal team is in the process of reaching out to Parkland's legal team to see if there's some exchange that can go on. It's not a bludgeoning tool. There just needs to be some more conversation.
Okay, it just sounds like there's being used as leverage.
I understand.
So when is this tabled to?
Technically, if it is tabled, it would be brought up whenever somebody moves to remove it. But the next Plan Commission meeting is October 9th.
October 9th. Yeah, right. Thursday, October 9th. Yep. So it'll be tabled until October 9th.
Okay.
Do you need a motion?
I need.
Do you make a motion?
To make a motion.
Hold on, could it be voted on and then contingent upon attorney's review, or is that something that you'd rather not do?
Because my understanding is that the litigation is unrelated to the area we're talking about on the eminent domain. The eminent domain is along O'Brien Street, completely different part of the park from where Cherry Street is.
Dave, are you moving forward with your motion?
Yes, I'm still moving forward with my motion. I have a motion on the floor from myself to table this until the October 9th meeting.
I'll second it.
We can vote at this time. We're voting to table this until the October 9th.
Do you want
I think we just do a verbal.
I think we need to do a verbal
Yeah, we
vote
just
on
do a
that
verbal.
rather than-
So if you want to call roll call, we'll do verbals, please.
Can I ask a couple questions first?
Do so.
So the eminent domain has had to do with the O'Brien Street rebuild,
Yes, sir.
and I've been confused exactly what we're trying to vacate. What I have come to the conclusion is Cherry Street.
I realized that what I submitted didn't have the, a highlight, so I did bring a
I'm
color.
assuming this, Brad,
It is,
If,
it is.
if,
the
Rick-
extension of Cherry
Rick,
Street.
if you don't mind,
Never.
sir,
Yeah.
Rick,
Put in.
this, if we could do this when the matter's actually on the table to be considered.
They kept calling it an alley and I'm calling it a street was my
Yeah.
confusion.
Certainly.
So,
I get that.
okay.
Kendra Zumix,
Table.
Angie Claycamp,
Table.
Dave Eggers, Dave Early,
Table.
Don Bruce,
Table.
Bernie Hausberger,
Table.
Shell Parker,
Table.
Rick Schleibaum,
I'd rather vote on it.
Jason Kleber,
Table.
8-1 to table.
Okay, we have tabled it till the October 9th, planning and zoning meeting. Will be the same time, 5 o'clock.
Can I ask a question that's not, so let's say that they haven't figured out the law situation with the eminent domain by then, does it automatically get tabled again, or will it be voted on then?
If somebody brings it up for a vote, it would be voted on then. If nobody brings it off the table, it will remain tabled until it is brought off the table.
Does that answer your question? Okay.
I have a question too. I think this needs to be clarified, what is exactly abandoned or to be, what's the word, I'm sorry,
Vacated?
the vacant.
Yeah.
I think we're just looking at the Parkland piece to be vacated, or the lot that's on Cherry Street. It's not shown on Cherry Street. I kind of feel like Cherry Street that's paved is gonna stay where it is.
That's correct.
But you don't care about Cherry Street the way it is now.
No, this is the part that was never built.
Because you've got an alley behind those houses that kind of either they shortcut out of that, and I didn't think that that was part of the plan. The way it's written here to me, it's circled as the Cherry Street that exists. It's not the Cherry Street that exists, it's the Cherry Street that's already abandoned to some degree. It just is we're just clarifying it.
And that fall, you're saying that would fall under the Ash Street as well?
Saying it doesn't really go to Ash
It doesn't
Street.
go all the way to Ash Street. There's an alley between Ash and Birch,
It looks like.
and this is simply the portion of Cherry's between the alley and Birch.
This-
There's no pavement on it.
The south side of the alley, there could be a difference between the north side of the alley and the south side of the alley.
South side, we're not looking for the north side of the alley, it's the south side of the alley.
The alley completely stays.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, my dad bought this property from a Whitson. It was called the Whitson Addition, okay? And my understanding is Whitson had it set up as building lot. It was never accomplished. My dad came in and bought the entire property from Mr. Whitson. And we're going off of whatever was established by Whitson. And it was never done.
Brad, I'm just gonna tell you, there's no problem on my end in proving this.
Let me explain myself. But my dad also, after he bought the property, he came to the city, had a rezone for mobile homes, and replatted it with his lot. And it was approved. But now we're going back to a previous owner. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
I mean-
That goes back to whatever the attorney thinks is needed.
But, I mean, there's never been an alley there, and it's always been a mobile home lot in the area that we're talking about. And it was approved by the city. I really and confused what we're even doing. Asking to vacate something that was never built.
Well, that's a lot of
That's where-
information.
That's where I'm confused.
Okay.
Good,
All right.
thank you.
Well, thank you very much, both of you. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Thank you.